Okay guys, so the whole new year, new me thing rolled around and you start planning your glow up goals for the year. You want to start waking up early, you want to start working out, eating healthy, clear your skin, learn the language. Everything just seems so exciting in that moment, but then this hits. So the reasons why we all got to this place might be different, but in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some psychology-based tips that you can use to get back on track with your glow up journey. I'm going to be talking with you guys about what might be the reasons behind you not being able to achieve your goals, how to fix that, how to set effective goals, and also the science behind how habits are actually formed and how you can use that to your advantage. So here's the thing, in order to set goals effectively, what you need to do when setting your goals is don't just write out the goals that you have. I mean, that's the first step, but don't just stop at the list. Here's the thing, in order to achieve a goal, you need to have a reason behind why you want to achieve that goal, because motivation is not always going to be there. Motivation comes and goes, it's very fleeting, it's unreliable, so you can't just rely on, oh, I'm going to be motivated to work out. But if you have a clear reason, a clear why behind your goal, for example, maybe it's because you want to be more healthy, or for me personally, I want to get back in shape because I used to have a really good toned figure, I guess, and now it's just not there. So I want to get it back, and that's my why, as well as being more healthy. So every single time I'm like, I'm not feeling it today, I go back to my why, and that helps me keep on working towards that goal. So what I usually do is in my Google Docs, I have a list of my goals, and for every single goal I have, first of all, the why, and second of all, this one is what actually really puts it into action and really makes it work. It's not just enough to have the goal and the why, because you're going to feel like you're right here at point A and you want to be at point B, but you have no idea how to bridge this gap between these 2 points. So that would make you feel overwhelmed and more likely to quit working towards your goal. So what you gotta do after you've written out your why is actually break the goal up into different milestones. Think of it like a ladder. What are different steps that you need to slowly go up on before you get there? Let's say, for example, one of your goals is to get into a specific university. So get into this university. Okay, what are the requirements? Maybe this university requires you to have a certain GPA. Maybe you have to pass certain exams. Okay, university, certain GPA. How are you gonna get that GPA? Think about, maybe I will learn about more study hacks that are going to make me more efficient as a student. So break your goal up into different milestones that are kind of like the steps that are going to help you get towards the end goal. But I know during the new year, all of us see people make these vision boards and these dream boards. You might think that it's just, you know, like some crazy law of attraction. I put a picture up there, it's going to come into my life. It actually works a little differently. You might write out your goals, you might write out why you want something, how you're going to get it, but then if there is no reminder about it in your physical environment, you might as well just like really quickly forget about it and kind of like don't remember to work towards it. For example, one of my goals is to learn Spanish, at least to like, I guess, B1 level, and the how to one of my milestones, which is to understand when people are speaking, is to watch a YouTube video in Spanish every single day, so I have that exposure to Spanish every single day. But unless I have a Spanish video popping up in my YouTube suggested, or unless I consciously write it out in my planner, I usually forget about it. So here's the thing, you know how you see an advertisement or someone eating in a movie even, and all of a sudden you're reminded that you want to get a sandwich? You need reminders for those actions that you need to be taking towards your goals in your environment. So the reason why so many people are making those dream boards is kind of just that, to have a reminder what they're working towards and the actions that they need to take. And if you guys want something else, you can maybe have post-it notes on your walls. You can also schedule your activities in your calendar, use habit tracker, or make a mind movie, which if you guys don't know what those are, and if you're kind of curious, then let me know in the comments and I can make a video about it. Okay, but some of you might be like, yeah, like I've done all of that, I've written out the why, I know how I'm going to do it, I have the milestones, milestones, I have the reminders in my environment, I have my dream board right here, but it still hasn't worked for me. Go back to your goals where you wrote them out and just sit down and think about what was the reason that you weren't really able to achieve that goal. A lot of the times it can be something about your environment. For example, if you want to start eating healthy this year, but you're surrounded by people who eat junk food all the time. Let's say you want to eat healthy, but your family, just like mine when I was at home, eats potato chips all the time, and every single meal consists of just carbs and meat. That can be one of the reasons why you're not succeeding at your goal, because your environment is a very important trigger. Triggers are things that cause us to repeat a certain type of behavior that we're used to and can prevent us from achieving our goals. There are 6 different types of triggers, and some very important triggers to consider are the time of the day. For example, if you're trying to start eating healthy, if you're usually used to either binge eating or eating junk food at a certain time of the day, maybe it's like 8 p.m. and you have this habit of like sitting down to watch Netflix at 8 p.m. and you usually get a bag of potato chips, that can be your trigger to eat unhealthy food. Triggers can also be sounds. For example, if we think about the habit of leaving the classroom when you hear the bell, that's the sound trigger example. The 4th one is emotions. If you're used to eating unhealthy or junk food when you feel sad in order to alleviate your sadness, then that's an emotional trigger. The 5th can be, have you ever noticed that when you go to a different place, you go to stay over maybe at your grandparents' house, you go on a vacation, you go to stay with your friends, or you change your environment somehow, you kind of like fall out of the loop of your previous habits and you behave a little differently in the new environment. The place that you're at is also one of the triggers. And the 6th one is the things in the environment. If you're trying to quit junk food and it's readily available around you, then you're going to be more likely to take it. So there might be a trigger that is preventing you from achieving your goal. Think about what it is, either if it's like a time of the day that's associated with the behavior that you want to change. Maybe it's something in your environment, someone in your environment, the environment itself, or your emotions. By identifying this trigger, you can honestly kind of like hack yourself into achieving your goal. The way a habit is formed is by, first, there comes the trigger. For example, you're used to binging when you're sad, which was me when I was in my freshman year of high school. So emotional trigger, sadness, which then cues the behavior, and then you get a certain reward, which is usually either a relief of that feeling, a dopamine flow in your brain. Why do people like to eat chocolate when they're sad, for example, is because it releases dopamine, and dopamine is a happy chemical and it makes you more happy. So once you get that good outcome from the act that you perform, your brain learns to repeat it again, and then it becomes a habit that you perform automatically. So the trigger is usually the first thing that you need to address in order to change the habit. Sometimes it's easy to get rid of the trigger. For example, if it's an environmental trigger, like you have chips laying on your desk and it's really easy to eat them when you're studying, it can be as simple as putting away the chips. But it can also be a trigger that's a little harder to get rid of, which in that situation, if you can't replace the trigger, what you can do is anticipate that trigger and replace the action that you take to get the reward. Let me explain it in simple words. So you get sad from school. Once you know that that is your trigger, you can anticipate it, and then once you anticipate it, instead of going to binge eat, get yourself a healthy meal and then give yourself also a reward after that, which is something that produces a good feeling. For example, you eat something healthy instead of binging, and then give yourself the reward of maybe watching your favorite YouTuber for 10 minutes or something like that. So then your brain is going to start associating this action of eating healthy with the reward, and it's going to make it into a habit that is going to let you achieve your goal. This doesn't only work for the examples that I used in this video. You guys can take whatever your goal is and apply the 3 things that I explained to you in this video to achieve your goals and get back on your glow up journey. The shout out of the week goes to this person right here. Thank you so much. Your comments always make my day and I'm always so happy to see them. And if you guys want to know more about how to become your most magnetic and confident self, then check out this video right here. And if you guys want to know more about glow ups, then I have a whole playlist, so you guys can go into this playlist right here. And I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!